Hey guys, so I am going to be reacting to a video made by this YouTuber called Amala Ekpunobi, I believe. I'm gonna link the video in the description, but this video is about the reason that men are not approaching women anymore, and apparently it's a pretty big issue. So let's react to it.
A young woman has gone viral with her very loud plea to men to please pay attention to her. She's going out with her girls, presumably. She's done a lot of work to glam herself up, and she's even giving y'all permission to touch a boob. So what is going on, and why aren't men approaching women? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Yes, today we're going to talk about the consistent phenomenon of men not approaching women when they're out, when they're at the coffee place, when they're at the workplace. It's, I guess, just a plague upon society that is impacting young women right now who want to be approached and who want a little bit of attention to be paid to them. But is that the case for all women? I guess not. And that
I guess the problem is how would a man determine whether or not a woman wants to be approached? You know, because if you see a woman walking down the street, chances are she just wants to be left alone and she wants to just go to her destination. She doesn't want to be approached. But there are women who do want to be approached. So how do you even determine that? Just by looking at them.
That seems to be the problem. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this phenomenon, in the age group of 18 to 25, for young men, around 50% of them say they have never approached a woman, not once, not ever, in a romantic or sexual capacity. They just cannot find it in themselves to walk up to a girl and hit her up and ask for her number. Now, when asked why they can't find this drive to do so, most of them are expressing that they don't want to be seen as a creep or be accused of sexual harassment in the wake of this whole Me Too movement thing that's happened. Many of them are saying they don't want to deal with any sort of negative social judgment that is going to come on the other end of hitting on a woman and maybe being unsuccessful. And of course,
I mean, I think that's kind of always been the case, is like approaching someone out of the blue is scary. It's scary for everyone. But I guess especially if you're like interested in them romantically or sexually.
a lot of them don't want to deal with the
This is why I canceled my DoorDash subscription and switched to CookUnity. After months spending way too much on DoorDash, I got bored of
unsuccessful aspects of hitting on a woman, being rejected. So now we're in this weird space of having a lot of young women who presumably do not want to be approached when they're out in public, when they're at work, when they're hanging with friends, when they're at the gym, and have
I mean, here's how I view it. If a guy approaches me when I'm out walking or whatever, if they are not, if they're like, hey, I think you're really cute or whatever, do you want my number? I'm okay with that. Like, I genuinely am. It's flattering. But it just depends on how they are approaching me. If they are approaching me in a respectful way, then I don't have an issue with it. If they are approaching me in an entitled way or a disrespectful way, then that's when I do have a problem with it. When they can't take no for an answer and they keep approaching me when I'm trying to get out of the interaction, I think that's the issue for a lot of women. It's not so much men just approaching them, but men not knowing when to back off. And a lot of the time, women are afraid to outright tell men no because they are afraid of the man's reaction to being rejected.
having a group of young women who do want to be approached. And overwhelmingly, men are saying, we are not going to approach you. And I guess that's how we get videos like this.
I better pay attention to me tonight. I'm so sick of this shit.
Oh my god.
Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very simple.
Oh, by the way, I guess I should address this change in setup. I am out and about traveling, and while I am not a single young woman who is out traveling, I do see a lot of young women who are, and these girls are getting glammed up to the nines to hit the streets in hopes of being hit on, and apparently it's just not happening for them. And I'm seeing a lot of young women who are responding in the very same way that this young girl is, and this is getting hella responses. I mean, tens of thousands of people, I think, are responding to this video at this point and expressing their opinion as to why this is not happening for these young women. And many of them are blaming women themselves. Now, I'm going to read you some of the most viral responses to this video so that you can understand what I'm seeing. Lulu says, nobody wants to say this, but the well-intended Me Too exposés metastasized into hysterical witch hunts, creating an environment of fear that altered human mating habits for a generation. TLDR, we've been scaring the bros. And I can't say that that's not true. In a lot of the surveys that I looked up, sort of trying to figure out why men are not approaching women, most of them said they did not want to be perceived as creepy. They did not want to deal with any sort of
I mean, I think that fear, I think it's a little bit of a good thing that men are afraid to be seen as creepy. Because you don't want to make someone uncomfortable.
sexual harassment allegations, and they didn't want to be freaked out on by a woman who did not want to be approached. And so many people are echoing this exact sentiment. Chadley says women will literally start a global witch hunt against flirting, successfully destroy it, forget, and then
Where are women starting this global witch hunt against flirting? Like, what kind of flirting are you talking about? And like, what is being said when someone is flirting? Just asking a girl for her number is starting a witch hunt? Like, I don't think that's true.
start a new movement complaining that nobody is hitting on them. Bizlet says, would you apply for a job with an insane list of requirements? And furthermore, the company gets insulted for giving them your resume and makes a scene about it. And lastly, you get this little cartoon of a cat that's sitting on a window, and the cat says, I'm so lonely, why must I live this life alone in solitude? Somebody comes to pet the cat. The cat says, don't touch me. Will this loneliness ever end?
Okay, so just, I mean, a woman can be lonely, yes, and she can desire companionship, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she is going to want every single man who approaches her, or, you know, shouldn't have any standards at all.
So, wow! We're scaring the hoes. We're scaring the bros, I guess, as people are saying here. This has overwhelmingly been the response to the video that I showed you, that women have actually created this problem by going after men for hitting on them or trying to pursue them romantically.
I don't think, I don't think most women have a problem with men hitting on them. It depends a lot on context. It depends a lot on what's being said. A lot of men, when they hit on women, they do it very, in a very overt, disrespectful way in a context that isn't appropriate. And yeah, the woman is going to react badly. Now, does that mean that a woman doesn't want to be hit on at all in any context? No. But there's a time and place, and a lot of men don't get that.
And of course, many are leaning on the example of the Me Too movement, which of course was well intended. They wanted to go after predators, harassers, people who were actually not well intended in their pursuit of women. But now we.
Okay, but the issue here is like, how is a woman going to know whether a man has what good intentions or not? Just by him approaching her. Like, women are scared of men in general, and the reason why women are scared of men is because women don't know whether or not this individual man has good intentions or not, just by looking at him. So that's the reason why women are so wary when men approach them.
Crossed a line, I guess, where men who are hitting on women with good intentions, who just want to go on a date, maybe get a girlfriend, maybe even just get a one-night stand, which is, you know, not the worst thing in the world, have been accused of being creepy. So men are backing off and saying, you know,
well, like I said, how is a woman supposed to know that a man has good intentions or not when he approaches her? Like, yeah, I guess it sucks for men, but men have to understand that women are literally raised to fear men and raised and this fear isn't completely unfounded because statistically men do commit the most violent crimes against women. So how is a random woman supposed to know if a man is good or not when he approaches her? Like women, there's really no way for women to know that.
You know what? If you don't want me to hit on you, if you don't want me to pursue you, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to stick with my guys when I'm going out, or I'm just going to not go out at all, and I'm not going to approach you. And we've actually documented this phenomenon on this channel on multiple occasions. I showed you a video of a girl who got a compliment, albeit a sexual compliment, at a gym, and she went and accused the guy of sexual harassment, created an entire scene, and all he did was say one thing.
Well, I need to watch the full clip of that because I'm not sure completely, if that clip was taken out of context or stuff was left out because there are often times where parts of the clip are left out on purpose to make someone look bad. So I really need to see the full clip of that and actually, listen to what the man actually said because she might have a valid reason for being pissed off.
And leave her alone. We had another video recently of a young girl who got approached mildly, I mean mildly, at a Whole Foods, and she came to her car and made a whole video about the guy being...
Well, again, I need to actually see and listen to what he actually said when he approached her and if he was like following her, was he being overly pushy? I mean, I need to actually like see the interaction to form a full judgment of that.
A freak and saying that men are going crazy in their pursuit of women. So this is not really being created out of thin air, this idea that men are going to be accused of being creepy for pursuing women. But is that all that's going on? I don't know. When I think about the women that I know, most of them are single. Most of them want to be approached. So I'm trying to think of what other groups of women exist.
Women want to be approached in the right time and the right place, and they want men to be able to read the room. If you approach a woman and she is trying to get away from you and she's giving short responses and she's looking away, then back the hell off. Don't keep pursuing her and then complaining that she thinks you're creepy. You have to read the room. It's not don't approach at all, it's approach, look at her body language, look at what she's actually saying, and follow it.
Of course, there are those who don't want to be approached, and I think something we're not talking about necessarily is women who say they don't want to be approached, but they actually do. And women who say they want to be approached, but they only want to be approached by a specific type of guy. And I started to look into this because, of course, a lot of the men...
Well, I mean, no shit. I mean, that's everyone, though. Like, men, even if a man, wants a girlfriend, he wants women to approach him. He obviously only wants women he finds attractive. I mean, that's just human nature. That's not really a woman thing.
Manosphere guys are talking about this 666 phenomenon, the idea of...
Well, the manosphere's full of shit. So, I don't really put much stock into what the manosphere says.
6 figures, 6-pack, and 6 foot tall. And I wanted to see if there were any numbers on just how many women are looking for this criteria. As far as height, I did find some numbers. It says only 15% of women show interest in 5'8" men on dating apps. And 60% of them are going for a man who is 6 foot tall or taller, and I'm not sure how that's going to work out. So there is an...
Well, I mean, that's just how dating apps are. Like, dating apps are very superficial, they're very physical based, and there's way more men on them than there are women, so naturally women are going to be very picky. Now, I don't really know if dating apps represent women as a whole. I don't think it does.
Energy of going on dating apps, wanting to make romantic connections, wanting to be approached by men, but you'll be disappointed if you're approached by the wrong man. I saw
Yeah, but that's just human nature. Like, people want, when they say they want to be approached, they don't want to be approached by literally anybody. They want to be approached by people they like and that is attractive to them.
bunch of men online saying that they've noticed that women who say they want to be approached often wants to have that approach in order to reject the man. They see some sort of power or strength in being able to reject guys, and they'll do so very rudely. This TikTok.
Well, I don't think you should be rude to anyone. I think if someone approaches you and you aren't interested, just say, thanks, but I'm just, I mean, it's hard because some guys, like I said, a lot of guys are not good at taking no for an answer. And if you are rejecting them nicely, they will not listen. And they will keep pushing and pushing until the woman feels like she has to be mean to get him to back off. So it's not entirely the woman's fault.
Is going to exemplify exactly that.
Can I get your number?
Oh. You think you are getting with him? Get the fuck out of here. You think you're getting his number? What restaurant are you taking him to? Wait, how much money do you make? Sure.
That's terrible. I mean, that's mean. Obviously, that's terrible, and that shouldn't happen. But men, this isn't really a gender thing, though, because men are known to be brutal towards physically unattractive women to where they won't even treat them like human beings. You know, this sucks. Like, I'm not defending this kind of behavior from either gender, but this is kind of human nature. It's not really a male or a male or female thing. It's just how people are. They tend to treat unattractive people like shit. And it's something that we should not do.
Surely you make like 7 figures, right? You're too short. You gotta grow up a little bit, and then you can maybe get with him. Yeah, he's good. You can walk away. Hey, you can walk away. Walk away. He doesn't want you. Hello, are you listening? Are you listening? He doesn't want your snap. You're nobody. You're nothing. You're a bum. You're a bum. He doesn't want you. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I would take your Insta though. If you got Insta, I would take your Insta.
First, we offer overnight boarding. Your pet will stay overnight in your sitter's home and not only be treated like part of the family.
And I gotta say, I have seen this firsthand, and it's awful. There are beautiful young women who go out and they say they're looking to be approached or they want a little bit of attention, but what they're really waiting for is to claw out the eyes of the first man who has the audacity to hit on them. So that's a little bit of a problem too. And I don't want to...
I mean, what's the age group of the women doing this? Are these mostly like really young women, like high school or early college age? Because that does seem very immature. But it makes me wonder like where you're actually seeing this kind of behavior.
Make this entire video seem like it's blaming women for this vacuum that now exists when it comes to being hit on and approached when they go out, but there's...
I mean, that is kind of the whole point. That's kind of what you're saying with this video. That's kind of the whole point.
There's a lot of evidence. There's a lot of evidence stacked against some women, we shall say. And when I try to think of what men's share of this problem is, maybe it is just a general masculinity problem and the suffocation of masculinity, but who's responsible for that? It's a multifaceted issue. There's also the issue of hookup culture. People are going in, they're hooking up, they're having one-night stands, and if you're somebody who is not interested in that sort of environment, not interested in that sort of outcome, I think you're more likely to just outright reject the people who are approaching you, because we just assume that if you are a young person who's approaching somebody at a bar or when they're out, that's probably what you want out of the interaction. So that,
I mean, 9 times out of 10, that is what they want, though.
It's probably cutting off a lot of what could be healthier developments when it comes to approaching a woman when they're out and about. This issue is so multifaceted, and I guess men and women both share their slices of the blame when it comes to this being a problem. But what I'm seeing on the internet, which of course is not representative of what's happening out in the real world, is men just over and over and over saying that women are responsible for this outcome, and that's the reason that they are not approaching women. So,
Well, it's usually because those men are continuously getting rejected. But often, when you actually look into the post histories of these men and you see like the posts that they make, the communities that they surround themselves in, usually they have bad attitudes towards women. And they have these feelings of bitterness and resentment. And women pick up on that shit. Okay?
women, are we responsible for this? Ladies, is it our fault? And if it's not, we need to defend ourselves in the comments right now, because men are coming after us and saying the Me Too movement, the rejection, the accusations of being a creep.
Yeah, and these men are often like Andrew Tate obsessed manosphere people. Like these men are usually people who have already been like indoctrinated by the manosphere, and you can't really reason with these people. So I try not to. Um because it's just exhausting for me.
A freak, the negative social judgment. This is what's creating this scenario that's consistently playing out with young women, where they're getting all dolled up. They want some attention. They maybe want to find a man at the end of the night, and they're not able to do so. They're not getting dates. They're not getting hookups. They're not getting numbers even. So
This seems like a chronically online issue though. I feel like generally a lot of women have no issue finding men to date and hook up with. Um, Obviously, the women who aren't getting dates are really loud about complaining about it, which makes it seem like this is a huge issue, but it's really not.
let us know in the comments down below, ladies. Is it our fault? If it's not, whose is it? Men, do you agree?
Well, I did not let you know in the comment section, but I did provide my opinion, and that's that. So I hope you all enjoy that reaction. I am going to keep making more videos. I'd like to post at least twice a week, so let me know in the comments of any videos you want me to react to, and I'll do that. All right, see you later.